This VIRIZION team is insanely strong for Ultra League. We got VIRIZION, Walrein, and Charizard. We have an incredible lead for this first match. We're going to get Steelix. And Steelix, now that it has access to Breaking Swipe, it's just so broken. And I think my opponent right there was trying to catch a Sacred Sword. But I was patient. And I definitely strongly recommend that if you have an insanely good lead, do not throw. Wait for them to swap out. And in this case, they swapped out to Poliwrath. I've battled Poliwrath a lot of times now, and Ice Punch doesn't really hit too hard, so that's why I didn't shield it there. Now, if you do want to maintain switch and keep alignment, then, you know, I maybe invest a shield, which is what I'm doing right here, right? And I have so much energy, right? So it doesn't make sense. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and throw this Leaf Blade, and I don't think I would have reached the other one. Luckily, they actually allow us to keep switch, and because I knew that they were going to go ahead and bring back the Steelix, I just had a good feeling. I was able to tap onto Sacred Sword, right, and do some damage. So really good plays there. Was very happy about that. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to leave a like and also hit that subscribe button, guys. Now I'm gonna go ahead and bring in the Walrein. I was thinking, you know what, I want to apply more pressure because I have to do a lot more to get to a Blast Burn. So I'm thinking, you know what, let's do some Icicle Spears. And the Steelix already had an energy advantage, so I'm not trying to get my Charizard like just super debuffed, right? So we're gonna go ahead and take the damage onto the Walrein. And from right here, I'm like, you know what, I feel like you're getting very confident. So I'm gonna go for the big move, thinking I'm gonna go for the Icicle Spear, and it goes through, right? And now they have a Charizard in the back. And what I like to do, look at the top right to allow you to get that advantage, because you can see there, if you looked at it, it was like fire and flying. And when I saw that, I'm like, dude, that has to be Charizard. So I swapped in my Charizard right away. And I'm gonna go ahead and fake this Blast Burn because that would do the bigger damage. So we're gonna go ahead and Dragon Claw, and it actually you know, they didn't take it, so we're gonna go ahead and Dragon Claw. Hi, sweetie. So I actually have my daughter here with me. So we're gonna go ahead and Dragon Claw right here. Oh, look, it's also Dom. It's a whole party out here. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do another Dragon Claw, which will be enough to be able to take out. Oh, bye, sweetie. It'll be enough to take out this Charizard right here, and that's a good game. Now, moving on to the next one, we're going up against a Hitmontop. Now, I had to be careful about this because they do have Triple Axle now. So I'm thinking, how are we gonna play this out? I'm gonna go ahead and do a Leaf Blade here, because I don't think Hitmontop is very bulky, but it actually seems to be pretty decent because it took that pretty well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shield this because I don't want to really take the damage, and they end up catching on a Giratina, which is really good for them. But what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to try to play a little bit smart here. I'm going to go ahead and bank a Leaf Blade or Sacred Sword, and then I'm swapping out to my Walrein. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and hard counter them. So this is what I love about the team, because most of the time, when you beat your opponent in the lead, they have a Giratina in the back that they swap in, and that's what Walrein is waiting, right? Waiting for those dragons. So we're gonna go ahead and now do an Icicle Spear, and we're kind of gonna go ahead and soft win this. I don't want to get him on top too much energy, so I'm not even gonna shield this. You know, Walrein is pretty bulky, so it's gonna be able to take this pretty well. And I was kind of debating, you know, farming down, but they would have reached another Dragon Claw for sure. So we're not going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and do Icicle Spear. And I'm going to go ahead, and it allows me to reach, because of the way I was managing my energy, I'm able to reach an Icicle Spear, which forces a shield out of them. And now I can align my Charizard where I wanted to, right? I no longer have to take that super effective damage on my VIRIZION. So this is perfect. They're going to go ahead and triple Axle, and they don't get the attack buff right there. And now this allows me to go ahead and swap in my VIRIZION because they go ahead and use their Heliolisk. And I've been seeing Heliolisk a lot these past few days. I watched Tho's live yesterday on his Twitch channel, and he was using it. Seems like a lot of people are using it, probably because it now has access to Breaking Swipe. But with VIRIZION, there is no problem. We're going to be able to easily take it down. And I think it didn't really show. But I think I ended up, did I use a shield there? I'm not really sure. I forget. But anyway, guys, we're able to farm down the Heliolisk, and now we have a Leaf Blade banked for this Hitmontop. So they would have had to throw energy to take us out, and that's a good game right there. So VIRIZION is just, this team is just so good. Now we're going to go ahead and get another good lead. Now we're facing a Tapu Fini. they're going to actually swap out right away. And I'm going to go ahead, and I was a little bit late to the swap there, honestly. But it's all good. I'm going to take this first Shadow Ball. I know that with this version of Giratina, it does hit like a truck. So, you know, we took that first one. Luckily, Walrein is pretty tanky, right? So we're pretty good there. We're going to go Icicle Spear. And now I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like farming him down. They're going to get to another Shadow Ball, and I don't want to use another shield. And they let that go, right? So they didn't even want to force the other shield out of me. And they're going to go ahead and counter us down with the S-Cab right here. Gonna go ahead and throw an Icicle Spear, so throwing the Parting Gift right there. And it actually did a pretty decent amount of chunk right there. So now we're at a range where Blast Burn is so overkill, but why would you throw a Dragon Claw, right? So we're gonna go ahead, there's no need to shield this. Take it like a champ. And basically what I'm looking to do, they were looking to catch there, but see guys, it's that patience that's gonna take you to the next level. And it's been helping me a lot. We're gonna go ahead and shield this potential Moonblast, right? We're not trying to get nuked out of existence and give them a win con. So we're going to go ahead and shield that. We're going to be able to outpace them like crazy. So even if they baited us there, it doesn't matter, right? And the trainer realizes that and ends up leaving the match. So now I'm actually going to go over some losses here, guys, because, and this is a huge misplay on my part, right? We had an incredible lead, and I decided, I was kind of like I panic switched right there. I should have switched out to my Charizard, which honestly, for the most part, will be the safe swap of this team, right? And because we're going to be able to also resist, I think those are what, Incinerates or something like that as a fast move. And now we're forced to kind of shield this Poison Fang. Now, what I should have done, and what actually would have helped me, maybe even take this match back, I should have baited the Earthquake. Because anytime your opponent safe swaps, they're looking to gain back alignment, right? So what I should have done is I should have baited that Earthquake, and that would have allowed me to reach this Earthquake right there, right? I should have known, and this is also another misplay, I should have just gone ahead and thrown at that Icicle Spear, right? I should have thrown that Icicle Spear because it would have at least helped me not be able to pretty much get rid of this Salazzle, which was such a spicy pick. This opponent just has an incredible team. They're going to go ahead and swap out to the Jellicent, and they were weak. This team was weak to Virizion in the back and in the lead. So this game just fell through my fingers, whatever you want to call it, and it was insane. It was really frustrating. Right here, I know they had reached the Shadow Ball. They're going to go for the big move here, and dang, I'm just like, we don't really got enough in the tank. I mean, there's just no way we can farm this thing down. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of debating now. After I saw that, how close was I to actually taking them out with just farming down? That would have been, but then see, they got the Salazzle. See, that's the thing. I needed to have since I didn't bait the Earthquake, I should have at least thrown the Icicle Spear, something, but I chose to try and see if I can get to another Earthquake, and that was my downfall. So honestly, very winnable match. Shouldn't have lost there, guys. Now moving on to the last and final match against Dragonite. What you can do, and what I've done in the past, I've always safe swapped my Charizard, and I'm telling you, like 90% of the times I win the match, right? But in this case, it won't be the case. This trainer plays out of their mind and actually ends up doing an incredibly big play here. Watch, I'm going to throw this Blast Burn, and it does go through, right? You throw the Blast Burn, and now you're at a point where you're going to, obviously you have to shield this. You're going to go ahead and shield this, right? And then I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to throw one. I'm going to throw one before I reach the next Dragon Claw, which will allow me to CMP. Excuse me. Now, this trainer plays out of their mind and chooses to shield that. And because they shield that, that allowed them to keep alignment and win the match, right? Very important, because now I'm like, what do I do? Get a bunch of energy on Virizion? I'm going to go ahead and farm down, right? And I don't know, maybe the way to go was to potentially farm down with the Walrein. And had I done that, it might have forced them to maybe swap out to their Obstagoon by mistake, perhaps, right? Sometimes you can still have your opponent misplay in the match, right? But we don't have Stone Edge on Virizion, so there is just no way they were gonna be able to we weren't going to be able to take out the Dragonite. But what you could do, perhaps, and I might test it when I find this matchup, because this matchup happens quite a few often, Virizion against Dragonite. What I might do, if you want to bait the Stone Edge, if you don't have Stone Edge, what you can do is do 6 double kicks, and then that'll allow you to basically, right there, what I just did. I have two moves, right? Six double kicks, and you know that because I have Leaf Blade and Sacred Sword filled in twice. The little energy, those little energy bars right there, right? But obviously they don't have a shield, so I mean, had it been Stone Edge, boom, nuked out of existence. But unfortunately, we don't run the move. Maybe one of these days I will go ahead and try and play it. Look how close I am. I'm over here trying to play it out. You know, maybe we can get the lag win con. But anyway, just aren't able to pull that through. But that previous game, that should have been a win. But anyway, guys, I strongly recommend use this team, especially if you're looking to climb an Ultra League. And if you use it, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.